Hi, it's Melissa with my Membership Minute on Monday, April 13th, 2015 with Spring Purifying Practices. Here's what's been inspiring my yoga practice and the practice of our members this week. Spring has sprung and it's been a wonderful time for spring cleansing practices. This past week, as part of the weekly challenge on spring clean flowers, I practiced the liver cleanse yoga practice. So I'm going to show you where the weekly challenges are. They are right here at the top. And I'm going to show you, this week we're in our legs and feet, but last week I want to show you, I practiced the yin liver cleanse class. There was a lot of discussion last week. This is going a little slower than I'd like. Okay, here we go. It was this class here, the liver cleanse yin class. And what stood out to me about this practice was that in spring, the ground is wet and our roots can grow down easily to draw nourishment from the soil. And this made me think about burnout as pittas. I have part pitta in my Ayurvedic constitution, that if you're not hydrating enough, you can get burnt out, or you can just burn out in general with too much fire as a pitta. And the importance of rooting down, you can root down in spring then and draw that wet nourishment up from the soil. And that spring can be an easy time to do that, those grounding practices. And then also this past week, I interviewed Nicole for the Just Like Me interview, and she mentioned, so let me show you where the Just Like Me interviews are. They're right near the top here. And if you click here, and here is the interview with Nicole. My internet's a little slow right now. So there's Nicole's interview, and I would encourage you to check that out, especially if you have kids, because she talks about how to connect your kids to your practice. But she also talked about a few things that we're going to discuss in this interview. One of them is that she reminded me, and it may not have been in this interview, it may be somewhere else she posted on the forum, but she reminded me about how the Intelligent Core class is a great class to alleviate anxiety, and I hadn't really thought about that class as a good class to alleviate anxiety, even though it is a good class to alleviate anxiety. So this weekend, I took that class with that perspective. And what really stood out to me about this class when I did it this weekend was all the discussion about hydration and the dehydration of, if your psoas gets dehydrated, which probably a lot of people's psoases are dehydrated, that it can cause anxiety and a lot of emotional tension in your body. And so that was really interesting to me, and I found it really great juicing up my psoas by doing that class, and found it has relieved a lot of emotional tension in my body. Then another thing that happened as a result of interviewing Nicole was that it inspired me, because she leads our book club, to go back and check out one of our older book club books. So if you scroll all the way down to our book club section, past the multi-day series, and if you go to our membership book club, and then this book club was from a while ago, so you're going to have to go to the second page here, and I'll put the direct link in the show notes, but it was the November book club, and this is The Way of the Happy Woman by Sara Avant Stover. So it inspired me to go back and check out this book because it was one of my favorite books that we've read, because this book is divided into sections on the season. So I wanted to go back and read the season on spring, and when I went back and read that again, the spring section, she talked about how the traditional Chinese medicine element is wood. And she said wood grows from the watery soil of springtime, of winter. And from that incubation, it grows deep roots into the earth and surges forth into the light of the world to grow and expand. So we can sink down through the watery soil like the root system of a tree through self-care and introspection. And then when the sun comes out, we have the opportunity to move upward, expand, and celebrate growth like the branches of a tree. So that really inspired me. So I'm really fascinated right now how I can practice hydrating my tissues, specifically my psoas, and rooting down through the watery soil through grounding practices and introspection. That really appeals to me. Our book club is practicing purifying practices right now through vibration and chanting. So I would encourage you to check that out. If you click here, our book club, they're on the chakra 5 of Eastern body, Western mind, and wheels of life. So this is a great discussion there. And also I would encourage you to check out Ivy's section in the Nourishing Your Spirit here in the daily section. The devotional offerings and requests, she's put together a purification practice called Rising from the Ashes here, which is a great, also another great purifying practice. So I would love to hear from you now. What new insights are being revealed to you this spring when you take the time to leave your insights, awarenesses, and experiences with our fellow yogis and members? We all learn and grow together, and I'm so grateful for each person's contribution. Full of difference, full of collective wisdom. I would love to hear from you. I know we would all love to hear from you. What wisdom is this spring revealing to you? Leave your comments and in response, and I look forward to our conversation this week. Namaste.